So I'm a little nervous. I've never played the Stanley Parable. I've never seen gameplay of the Stanley Parable. And when I asked my girlfriend and my friend about it, they refused to tell me anything about the game. All they said was, you have to play it. That's it. I asked them, like, okay, well, is it a horror game? Like, what am I exactly getting into per se, right? Because I'm just a little curious, right? What's the silence for the game? And everyone refuses to tell me anything. They just say play it. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please smash that like button, subscribe, comment, you know, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get to it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay. I guess we're so dang. We're kind of fast. Can't see my feet. What the heck? Okay. Damn, I set the hold up. I set the field of view to, I kind of like the clicking sound this makes. I set the field of view to 90, but I think I might set it back to 75 just because, like, yeah, there we go. I usually always set my field of view to like 90 in games. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, there's like numbers every 431 to 436. So like, well, we work at a we're Stanley and we work at a company.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Whoa, what's this?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, alright, dude. Where am I? Oh, you can interact with... I don't know what's going on. So, okay, so everybody just kind of disappeared. All the doors are locked. There isn't much for us to, like, really do except follow, I guess, where it wants us to follow. Hold up, this is open over here. Can I get in? Okay, I guess just...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, just because he said that, I'm going to the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What? I guess, alright, we're the employee lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
What's that say?
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Alright, well. Anyway.
But eager to get back to business,
Oh.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna listen to the narrator in my head. It's over here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What? What the hell? What is all this? Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift is $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift is $5,000. I mean, penalty is death. What are you talking about?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Danger everywhere. Okay. I'm so invested all of a sudden just because, like, the narrator clearly has, like, it isn't your usual narrator. This dude knows some shit.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
I mean, I like red. What about, can I just walk through this door? No. I'm just gonna go back then. Oh, we can't. We have to choose a door. You know, let's give this man what he wants. Let's go through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
What the heck?
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
What in God's name?
Well, I think I have a solution.
It's just looping around.
Let me show you.
What is going on right now? It's dark. Did I just die?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
I lost it. Okay, I looked around and I lost where the door was. The hell is this, dude?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm just exploring, my guy. Don't worry.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
What are you talking about?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
So, it wants us to jump and die? I mean, fuck it.
No!
Oh!
Oh, thank God you lived.
Let's try that
You
again.
had me worried there for a moment. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I refuse to be controlled.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
I don't dislike
You'll
the
throw
game,
yourself
I
from this
just...
platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
I am getting a kick out of it.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I'm very confused. I'm sorry, narrator. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Is it over?
Oh God, am I dead?
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
The end is... And we're back here. Guys, I don't know what the heck to really say.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What the heck? So it loops? Is that what's going on? We're stuck in a loop with this narrator guy?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, let's you know what, let's make him happy. Let's go to the left door this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Do not alter without consulting
Stanley
whiteboard
decided
manager.
to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
The narrator said something about playing his how to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it wait. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Next slide. Next slide, narrator. Number of slides on this slide. Charts and slides and slides. Yo, what the hell is this? What's the other one? Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. What is this stuff, bro? Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more charts. Please, I'm begging. The boss appreciation. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined toward conflict, unless you're the kind of person who initiates conflict, why do we hire you? Remember that it takes 2 people. Okay. What are your dreams for the future? Talk radio, transcend, plant life, football, comatose, spring break, less air, pollution, hope, clear skin, metamorphosis, success. What is this stuff, bro? Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition, and don't get fired. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. And then you, yo, what the hell, dude? It's goated. Broom closet. Can we get in here?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here. So
Can't
he
you?
turned around and got back on track.
I mean, can't you put something here, narrator? I mean, clearly you're like a god or something. You have control. Are you not able to do something with it?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's see what's downstairs, though. Hold up. I'm curious. What is this? Hell? But I want to see what's downstairs, narrator.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yo,
Why
what?
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
What?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
Yeah.
simply repeating?
Yeah.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange.
What
This can't be
what the
real.
fuck?
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
What the?
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It
What?
was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
What
How
the
was
hell?
he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
What in God's
While he
name?
thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
What in God's name just happened?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone
What
wake
the
me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone
God.
tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What the? What is going on right now?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the f- What happened to
Mariella woke
Stanley?
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her
What
place
the
of
hell?
work. But on this particular day,
What is
her
going
walk
on
was
right now?
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
What
And
the?
although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ain't even called the police or anything? You just ran away? What is going... The end is never the end is never... We're back. We looped back. What the... What in God's name is going on, dude? Like, what the...
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh my, and we're back here. What...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bro, like... I mean, am I missing something? Like... What the... Where the... Are we in purgatory? Like, what is this? Is this hell? What in God's name? Like... I don't know what to think, guys. I'm... New content? Oh, is this part of the, I ended up getting the ultimate, deluxe, like the deluxe edition or something.
New content?
Yeah.
What does that mean? New
I don't know.
Content.
I don't know, but you blocked this. Can I get through? Okay. Where does this take me? This is wild. I don't know what to think right now. I'm just kind of at a loss for words. I don't know, like...
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Is that the Riddler?
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with
Oh,
the
Ultra
Stanley
Deluxe,
Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining
That's
of the
the
game
one
for
I got.
consoles and home computers.
Wait, I'm playing the game while it's
Stanley
talking about the
Parable
game?
Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too, even though I don't even know what the normal content is because I never played it or seen this game.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Right.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh,
there we go. Yeah.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've
Hell
never
yeah.
been more ready. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Let's go, narrator. Yeah.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Yeah. What's the content? The jump circle?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I'm just supposed to jump? This is kind of stupid. Why do I gotta jump so many goddamn times? This is stupid. Is there like a camera around here? Am I being recorded? I'm sorry, it's just, this is new content, the jump circle, you're just supposed to jump. And I'm the monkey here jumping. Goddamn circus act. What? Oh, I can't jump anymore, okay. Well, did I get a prize?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
You tell me, you're the freaking narrator in control of this world or whatever the hell's happening right now. There's another elevator.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content.
No, please don't.
Right there.
Please don't.
I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Yeah, I like you, narrator. You're like a buddy. Thank you for enjoying
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You
Fuck,
see,
get out of
Stanley,
here, bro.
This
What?
is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this?
Is it really?
I'm infuriated
I'm about to look
and
that
I'm
up.
offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay, I didn't really get to choose. You just kind of did it. Okay, well, this is completely different. Hold up. Okay, so the layout changes.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Well, that's not, like, creepy at all. My god, it's just more.
Okay. You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
What the hell?
Take a look.
Okay.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is a nice place. I mean, well, it's nice, I guess. But I don't know what's going on. I'm just kind of here for the experience at this point, really.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
I wasn't there for that,
then,
no.
Video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
I do agree, yes, I do agree. I mean, wow, you're really talking some straight wisdom there, narrator. Like, games did used to mean something. Hold up, that says mind control facility. Is this some sort of, like, test? Am I in some sort of, like world where I'm being mind controlled by the company or something? Like, smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. Literally $1, probably like the first $1. Is this? Can I play this? Stanley Parable demonstration. Begin the demo options. This is kind of wild. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. That's an achievement? What the fuck? Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. What the fuck? What the hell? An achievement that's impossible to get. Is that us dead? New video game releasing today. Creator surprisingly down to earth. Story. Debut game. Game innovation. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. And then that's when we, like, got murked. Well, we didn't even really get killed. What's this? In loving memory, little Stanley? Is that a hamster? What is that? Can't crouch, so I don't know. Oh, I can't crouch. Oh, it's so cute. Rest in peace, little Stanley. This is a nice place, I ain't gonna lie. Can I just stay here forever? Look, there's houses over there. What the fuck? Is this copyright? Narrator, I can't do copyright music, bro. What is this?
Is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them.
It was Skyrim, Persona 3.
It's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Hold up, I want to read this review, actually. It's okay. So it says, don't read any reviews except this one. How do you review a game like the Stanley Parable? To describe any one part of it is to risk its ruination. Which is hilarious, because that's literally, I feel like, the whole theme of this. Like, I asked my friend about this game. He couldn't tell me anything. And I asked my girl about it. She didn't tell me anything. Like, I feel like it's a cult at this point. You know, like cult secrets. Eldritch lore. To detail what it has to say about game design, the illusion of choice, and the psychology of the gamer is to tell you too much. Comparisons, too, are going to be woefully inadequate. Perhaps its closest cousin would be Dear Esther, but where Dear Esther wastes the form of interactive entertainment, Stanley Parable uses and then subverts it. For so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Even so, holding the game to the standards of any other title is simply not going to be correct. So, how do you review what has become known as the Stanley Parable HD, the full-scale reimagining of one of the most intriguing mods available online? How do you discuss it, analyze it, and recommend it? That's quite simple. You don't. What, what you guys see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? What is this, bro? What? I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is gonna change my life or something. First of all, where are we? Didn't this start off like, okay, I'm just like trying to figure out where I am right now. So we're in some sort of the memory zone, okay? The narrator took us to the memory zone. Weren't we trying to figure out where all of our co-workers were? Because they ended up like disappearing or something. What's this? Person of the year. I'm assuming that's Stanley. That's like... Okay, there's this room, but I'm noticing there's like something in the basement. Memory zone maintenance. Okay, we can't go here. For Scott. A nice car. Okay, like some Stanley Parable stuff. Your number is 29. What's this say? The end is never the end is... I'm assuming it's the end is never the end is never the... Literally anything. People play games because of what they can do inside them. And your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. What?
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Are these real
The
reviews?
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh, opened the door back. But I'm wondering if we can get through there. I want to read the review. I'm sorry. I really want to see, like, is this real reviews? Like, can somebody, like, tell me if this is actually a real review or not? I mean, I'll probably look it up after I'm done. I've always been someone who wants to go the wrong way first in games. When I sense that a game is trying to usher me down a particular path to get me to run from left to right or maybe the charge straight ahead, I need to satisfy my instinct to go against the grain, to explore to see what the designers have put back the other way. Sometimes I find a one-up or a collectible stashed away to reward me for my intrepid behavior. At other times, my explorations are rewarded only by the crushing disappointment of running up against an invisible wall. But whatever I find or don't find, my action is a manifestation of my desire to exert some independence, to make my own choices within a system that severely limits my options and encourages certain specific behaviors. Yeah, like me when I started and it said that I had to take the left door, and I'm like, okay, I know you're telling me to take the left door, but for some reason I really want to take the right just because you said the left. Huh. Interesting. Did it play on my instincts? Did the game read me? Interesting. The Stanley Parable feels alive in its responsiveness to your choices and its desire to subvert your expectations and keep you on your toes. I think of the Stanley Parable as a sort of video game analog for Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze's brilliant film adaptation, which gently mocked the ways in which so many films manipulate audiences with formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learn huge life lessons, while simultaneously moving me with its formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learned huge life lessons. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and in other systems too, like our workplaces and our families, and a game that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. Going the wrong way has never felt so right. This has to be a true review. I'm kind of blown away by this. Like, I'm looking at reviews for the game, in the game, by the game. Like, can you guys like take the time to think about the like mind blownness of that right there, of that entire sentence? Oh, I can't. This says the serious room. I can't jump. Okay, I guess we're going back. What's it say? The greatest wealth is memory. That is deep. Holy shit, I think I almost shed a tear. That is very, very deep. Wow.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on.
Well, I haven't played before.
This part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Crash? Maybe?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
I know what Steam
haven't
is.
looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely
Well,
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh no, my friend. If Steam reviews are one thing, it's like you either have good Steam reviews or you have bad. Like it's literally either it's good or it's bad. Oh, here we go.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny.
He called him
with his
unfunny.
humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Hey man, could you raise that up? I wanted to read it. All of it. I didn't want to. Okay. I guess he doesn't want any part of it. And it's raining. All right. You called him unfunny. I think you're a funny narrator. You have your moments. Imagine if like the narrator could hear me as I talk. That'd be pretty cool, right? Maybe one day we'll get to that level. What is this? What is this? Okay, this is blurred. Just a lot of not recommended. Well, this one's a good review. Hold up. Another one.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
I don't think you are.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. But dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
That's not true, narrator. Like, look, people are gonna complain about a good game, and they're gonna complain about a bad game. You know, you can't please everybody. You just have to kind of accept things as they are. All right, you're gonna make games that some people are gonna love, and you're gonna make games that some people are gonna hate. It's just the way of the world. It's getting a little creepy all of a sudden with the music. Man, what happened to like the nice place, you know, like the tree? Oh, there's another review down there, which I think is exactly where we're supposed to go. Okay. What's this say?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Well, hold up. What? Like, no. I don't want a skip button. I have never played you before. I've never experienced you before. Why would I want to skip?
Here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
How long has it been?
Keeping track after a year.
A
Have you
year?
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
No,
Let me
no.
describe it for you.
Okay.
To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stan.
Hello? Narrator? 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 I'm back. Oh. Maybe... God, how long has it been? Narrator! My friend! I won't press the button again. Narrator? Clock is frozen. Well, that's very, very annoying.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising...
What? How much time is passing?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Am I just trapped here forever? Is this just... This is my life now, I guess, just having to press this button until something happens. Oh my god. Narrator. Narrator. I can't climb. I can't leave. Can I get this ladder and climb up? Come on, Stan. We have to get a way out. Like, there has to be a way out of this, dude. Like, aw. What in... Civilization has been destroyed. We've gone into the future so far that human civilization is gone. Alright, what, I guess it's gone again. Dude, we're like traveling very, very far in time. What's that? Are these like some sort of new creatures? Oh, dude, the button fell. Oh! Can I press this again? No, the button's gone. Where the hell? Narrator. I don't know where to go. I guess we just wander the desert? Oh, something happened. The end is never the end is never the... We're back! We die? What happened?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What? It just reset itself just like that. What the... New content. Okay, well, I mean, I gotta go.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I don't know, man. Last time, things got a little weird. Another elevator? I thought you didn't like
Stanley,
elevators.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What? A sequel in the... What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I mean, again, I never played the regular Stanley Parable, so I don't know. I can't really, I don't have an opinion on whether you were annoying or not, because I don't know. I didn't get that far. The end is never the end. Again. 427, the Stanley Parable. Investor Showcase. Okay.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is
Taste
just
the
so
sequel.
much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yeah, but like, at the same time, you know, you don't need a sequel in order to make a series great. You make, like, I don't know, like, you can make spin-offs or something. I don't know. I'm not in the gaming industry like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just feel like you don't have to worry about making a sequel just because you feel like the deluxe one wasn't received well. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old plus busted. New hotness. Cool red section of the charts. Boring sections of the chart. So basically you just added red and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, this is it. This is the way. That's it. That's really more TSP. Better TSP. Win-win. Sequential mindshare. A paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach, envelop client-centric marketing. The color red, leverage holistic value. I kind of feel like this guy is making fun of the gaming industry as a whole with how it kind of works and how it views sequels and making sequels. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the biggest difference I'm noticing that they're really going for, that's really like pushing the narrative of this whole the Stanley Parable 2, is just the color red. That's it. And I feel like that's kind of poking fun at the gaming industry. Stanley Parable 2. What the hell? 2 Stanleys, okay. One of them doesn't even have a computer. He's just staring at the wall. All right.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Like, I love how this dude is so like self-aware that he even has good sequels on here. He has Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, which was Batman Arkham City, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, and then he has Dark Souls 2. So he has basically just sequels of very popular media and games, I guess. That's very interesting to me. The way that I see it when it comes to a sequel of a game, it's either going to be way better than the first game, or it's going to be worse. That's just kind of like the way I view sequels. The third is like the most important, and I'm gonna actually give you guys an example of this. All right, one of my favorite franchises, gaming franchises in the whole universe in existence, is Assassin's Creed, and it has broken my heart, destroyed my heart, deteriorated it to nothing with how the series has been treated recently. Now, I did not get into Assassin's Creed by playing the first game. It was actually the GOAT himself, Ezio Auditore da Firenze, my boy, that got me into Assassin's Creed. I played the second game when it came out, and that was a sequel to the first game. But that sequel literally established, to be completely honest, it established what Assassin's Creed is and what it was going to be in the future. I mean, the theme of that game was so incredible that it became the official theme for every single Assassin's Creed game that came out afterward. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you how impactful that was. And that's just one of the sequels. Another sequel is, I mean, it's kind of a sequel, but it's a prequel at the same time. Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a sequel to Red Dead Redemption, even though it technically takes place before the events of the first game. But look, I mean, then again, let's be fair. It's Rockstar, and they don't miss. They don't miss. They miss with online, but they don't miss when it comes to the games themselves. Those two games really show how a proper sequel is done. Now, going back to Assassin's Creed real quick. After Assassin's Creed 2 came Brotherhood. Now, I kind of think of Brotherhood as part of Assassin's Creed 2. Because it has to do with Ezio's story, and I like to think that all of Ezio's story kind of ties into like 2 in a way. I don't consider, because it's Assassin's Creed 1, which is Altair, Assassin's Creed 2, which takes place with Ezio. You got Brotherhood, Revelations, and then you have Assassin's Creed 3, which follows Connor Kenway, right? Or Dunagerun, or however the hell you pronounce his Native American name. But Brotherhood and Revelations, they're kind of, because it's Ezio's story, they kind of follow, I guess, the flow of 2. I still consider them a part of 2. But anyways, Brotherhood to me is the apex Assassin's Creed game. To me, okay, I know this may not be a popular take for everybody, but I think Brotherhood was like the apex when it came to Assassin's Creed. It had everything that worked. It had an amazing combat. The parkour was great. The world was great. The missions were great. The characters were great. The soundtrack was chef's freaking kiss. It was, everything about that game was amazing. Every single aspect of it. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about sequels. The third sequel to a franchise is either going to be a heavy miss or a big W. And in my personal experience, they usually end up as a big miss. Look at Revelations, all right? A lot of people had a lot of problems with Assassin's Creed Revelations. I played it. I played through it all. It is the least memorable one to me, which sucks because it's also the ending of Ezio, of his story. It's his final game, kind of puts an end to his whole thing. And I kind of hate how it ended. You know, not how it ended, but I hate how I just hate it. I didn't like it. But then again, I guess hate is a bit of a strong word. I didn't hate it. I just feel like more could be done. I didn't mind that Ezio was older. I know some people didn't like how he was way older. You know, he had some gray hairs now. He's like, they felt like, oh man, I'm playing an old man. This isn't immersive. I get that. I understand. That's fair. But at the same time, you have to realize this also takes place in a time when, you know, 40 years old, you're already close to the grave, bro. You know, this was at a time when 18, hell, 15-year-olds were considered to be adults already. When like, you know, women would marry at like 12, 13 years because that's when you were, you know, life expectancy was short back then. So, and plus Ezio being, you know, the mentor, kind of had a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. This dude's been waging a war with the Templars for so long that he deserves the gray hairs, and it's amazing that he was able to achieve having grown so old, you know, because of all the enemies that he's fought throughout these. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make this like a Assassin's Creed story. I just kind of got into a bit of a rant there, trying to explain that not every sequel is necessarily a good sequel. Just because it has 2 in it doesn't mean it's double the content, double the game, you know, double the good. So with that being said, I am so sorry for taking up so much time. Let's get back to the game, which is over here. Valued investors, this way to the show floor. New features. New content. The dude has a whole bus. Expo hall. What the heck? We went from like the meeting board to a whole like expo. I'm surprised that narrator doesn't mention how you take forever. Like if you take too long, he's like, "Hey Stanley, can you hurry it up?"
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Oh, okay. Well, this is pretty cool. We got like little features we can try. Okay, so we got some merch. Okay, that's pretty cool. We got some merch. Welcome to the showcase. New features, new content, new game. Okay. The end is never the end again. This shirt is the best new feature. Yo, I'm actually kind of curious if you can actually buy some of these shirts online. Like if these are actually really real shirts or not. I'm just curious. What is this? Please no screenshots. The Stanley Parable 2. Hold up, before I go there, I just want to take a look around. I don't want to miss anything. New features, new contents. Okay, consistent quality. All right. Please no screenshots. Okay. I've never actually been to like a gaming expo, which really sucks, man, because I bet it's fun. Like I bet you could have some really fun times, man, and I'd like to be in one. Hear yours today. Taste the sequel, and then we got cold drinks. Hear your name in the game. What? Ain't no way. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. There's no way. Nah. There's no way it'll say my name.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
Wait, I can go back out though, right?
The first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Hey, let's not get woke
with that
now.
in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Is it just gonna call me Stanley? Is that... Am I gonna like hit the button and it just says Stanley, or is it actually gonna say my name? What's my name?
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now,
what the
button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh my
Do you feel
God.
deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I'm
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
What? I was gonna say, like, imagine you're actually named Jim and you press that button and it says, Jim. Like, you get freaked the fuck out. Like, what the hell? All right, so hold up. Let's get in character now. I am Jim. I have lived my whole life as Jim. My only existence is Jim. My heart has been broken before, and that I guess stuff has happened. I am Jim. Let me press the button.
Jim.
That's crazy. That's brilliant.
Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush.
It's
That was
amazing.
you.
Yeah,
The
no,
button
that was
describes
me.
you. Do it
Yeah.
again. Do it again.
Okay, yeah, that was freaking awesome.
Jim.
Whew.
It hits even
Oh,
harder the
straight
second time.
chills.
If this were
I got
the
chills.
only new feature in the Stanley Parable
Oh.
2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm
There.
too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
All right, let's take a one more time.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
What?
Otherwise,
No.
soon you'll start to lose
Jim.
all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I want to be Jim. My kids. I had kids. All right. Putting Jim away. I guess okay. So we can head back. Thank you. I thought I was like trapped to continue on without experiencing the rest of what the expo had to offer. This game is not what I expected. Then again, I don't know what I expected.
Name Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Wow. This dude said only Jims can play the game. What's this? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Okay, well, that's where we were. The jumps. You gotta be kidding me, dude. Jump circle? Infinite hole? What? No. This is some shitty ass features, dude. What are you talking about? I thought we agreed that the jump circle was not worth having. What's this? Office decorations. Okay, the infinite hole seems to be here.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Okay, well, that's kind of... Get well someday. Well, like, are we sick? Why are we, like, getting well? Then there's Happy 12th Birthday step-niece. I don't have a step-niece. I don't have any siblings. I guess that's the point of the step-niece part. I don't know. Damn, I guess it comes down to, like, blue. You know what? I kind of don't really want to choose, so I'm just gonna leave. And you're not gonna accept that. You want me to choose. You're gonna force me to choose. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. All right, we're going to eeny, meeny, Midas, bitch. So, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catcha, tiger, violet, toe, iffy, others, let him go. My mama told me to pick the bestest one, and you are it. Okay, I was kind of feeling this one, to be honest, but I didn't know if maybe the white was too plain. Then again, it fits the theme of your game because it's white with red, so...
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy
Are you
12th
serious?
birthday, step-niece it is.
You son of a... What the Okay, well then don't ask for my opinion if you're not even gonna... Freaking asshole. Oh my
Or actually,
gosh.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay, whatever. Asshole. They didn't even take my... I guess that's... Collectibles. Yeah, that's really cool. Is that like... Is that an inflatable or is that like a whole statue? Kind of looks like a statue. What is that like a woman thinking? Is that the lady that found us on the street? I have so many questions. Expo Hall 2 guide. The jump circle is N, which is over here. Okay. This map is 5. Free achievement is in Q. What? which is literally outside. How am I supposed to get there? What? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game, that's B, merch Z, settings world champion, Stanley Parable, reassurance bucket, office decorations, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole. We're just going to just go wherever the hell we want, actually. Oh, here's the jumping circle.
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
What the what? No! Well, what the hell? I'm glad I didn't have to pay for this place, dude. I would have been mad. Can't believe it's that simple. Free, new, plus easy achievement. You just have to get here and you get... Will I really get an achievement? Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Okay.
Right now, the achievement is still
Oh my
fully
God.
broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley.
Oh
but
my
I guarantee
God.
it will be fixed in the sequel to at last
Oh my
satisfy the
God.
hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Oh my God. Like, can I... That is hilarious. I really thought I was gonna get an achievement, bro. Like, yo, free achievement? Like, let's go. What a fucking troll, man. What's the comment? Does the commentator have a name? I'm curious, like, what his name is. I like you.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Well, we got there's the infinite hole, which is over there. It won't end, apparently. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be a Loki and Doctor Strange situation. You guys know what I'm talking about? I've been falling for 10 minutes. Sure it was 10 minutes. Okay, we already... This was when our choice was worthless. What's this? Time and depth. This dude basically literally invented an infinite hole using, I guess, quantum physics and math that I will never be able to understand. Time like infinity, distant past, hole like infinity is over there. Distant space-time, falling, time, deeper. There's the opening, the rim. Whole entrance. What in God's name is this? Infinite hole chart. Oh, this is... Wow. This science. So he says depth, space, hole, question mark, science, more, falling, infinity. More hole. So he isn't even explaining how this works. It just keeps going. Wow. Well, you know what? I'm actually kind of curious. Well, hold up. How do we get back?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Well, see, my only problem with that is that I don't want to fall for like all eternity. You know, I would like to be able to bring the experience to an end when I want. But I don't think that's the case. So I'm just gonna go for it. You know, like, just fuck it, right? Whee! Yeah, it does what it's advertised. It's
Isn't it wonderful?
It's
One of the
kinda-
more ingenious concoctions, if I
kind of
may say
trippy,
so.
actually.
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward.
Okay.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
I will.
Do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Ah, but time is relative, my friend, alright? Your soon might not be as soon as my soon. But I promise I'll press the button soon.
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
What?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinite. Great.
Oh,
now, I'm
God.
very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now.
Hold up.
Do you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom.
That's what I was curious about.
No, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
I don't doubt it. Dude sounds like my girl.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say
Why
anything.
can't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay. I mean, we reached the bottom, so ain't nothing to do. He changed this mostly infinite hole. All right, show me more of these exhibitions. I'm curious to see what else you have in store. Go up here. Can you find them? Can you find what? What is this, dude?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Oh, great.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay, I mean, that sounds fair, I guess. Dude, like, what is this? Am I floating? I mean, everybody looks like everybody wants it, so. There's 6 of them? Or is that just...
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
What? Why would that be tragic? It gives you a reason to collect the damn thing. I guess we can get the hell out of here.
Oh goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Where's the bucket? Where's the bucket? Is it the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket? It's in B2, which is over here. Okay, so we're here. Wait, is it next to I suck at reading maps, if you guys didn't notice. B2, is it next to... It's next to the hashtag, which was the settings world champion, and the merchandise. Oh. Okay, so we just gotta go back to the merchandise. Oh, there it is, the freaking, yeah. Okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Right.
It engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
It's just a
You may
box.
even come to
Or
long
it's a
for the
bucket.
gentle
A box. Oh
embrace
my
of
god.
jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
You telling me people had a problem with the game because they felt despair?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Am I gonna have this bucket the whole time, or? Okay, I guess the bucket of reassurance is ours.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Oh, wait, it's over here. Alright, narrator. Well, this has been very, very fun. Thank you kindly. And thank you for the bucket. I will treasure it forever. Dude couldn't even give me a clean bucket. It had to be a dirty one. Very, very nice. No screenshots. Oh, okay. What is this?
So, Stanley, what do you
The
think?
main event?
Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Oh, God.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
That's what
With
this is.
respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it
We're
could,
experiencing
but
it right
need a
now.
really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What the? What the? This is the crazy shit, bro. What the hell? This is an experience. This whole game, I cannot. I think I finally understand why my friend, could not explain this game to me, because I don't think they can. I don't think there are words that genuinely explain what the fuck this game is. Like, I would not know how to explain to you what this is, other than it is an experience that has to be experienced. That's like the best thing I can give you. Like, I just, like, I'm enjoying this a lot. Like, a lot. I'm also getting a little tripped out by the freaking hallway and the way that it's like morphing around. But overall, I'm like super invested in this. I'm just happy that I can play a game that I don't really have to edit, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably not gonna edit any of this stuff. I want you guys to really get the entire experience with me, and I think that's the beauty of this game. It's meant to just be experienced, and a lot of games nowadays, they don't really have that kind of charm. They're not experiences. They're just, you know, A to B, checklist. There are no checklists in this game. It's literally just one big experience after another, and I'm so here for it. So I'm gonna keep playing. I don't even know when I'm gonna stop. I don't know if there's an ending to this game. I noticed they keep saying the same thing. The end is not the end. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. Never the end. Never I don't know if this game has an ending. I'm very curious to see if I can reach it, but I'm gonna keep playing. This is probably gonna be a long video, very long video. But who gives a fuck, right? Let's begin the Stanley Parable 2. Let's check this out.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
It literally is gonna start the same way, is it not?
Stanley worked for a
Get
company
the
in a
hell.
big building
Oh my
where he
God.
was employee.
He has
number
the balloons.
427.
The fucking balloon.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push.
I'm just gonna skip. Yeah, I'm assuming it's the same thing, like people disappeared or whatever. The fucking it has the balloons, bro. He really did add the balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh my
What
god,
could it
it's
mean?
the same.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
my
had simply missed a memo.
God, dude, there's the bucket. There's the bucket. Oh my god.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yeah, the bucket of reassurance, baby. Let's go. Okay, we know how this goes. We just keep it going.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
He clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. Okay. This is freaking hilarious.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Oh my
Perhaps his
god.
boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Room closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Fucking collectibles. Are you get the fuck out of here, dude?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
This game, because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. I don't even know, like, I have no words at this point, I'm being honest. This is a really nice, like, what the hell? The decor is awesome. Dude, look at this office. Get the hell out of here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
That is hilarious.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Right.
Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
What's the bucket guiding him?
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, what is... This is kind of wild. What? Protect me, bucket. Oh, look at this.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
Mini-stands.
Figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Another Stanlerine for the collection. Okay, it was so dark, I didn't know if there was a drop or something. Loading, okay.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Right.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Thank you, Bucket.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you. I do feel... What the fuck? Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through
What?
the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Well, escape is on the left. I'm just gonna escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Damn it! What's crazy is I know we probably will, because the narrator seems to be like God, basically, and what he says happens. So I know for a fact that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up dying. But I want to see what this violent death that he's talking about is. I mean, it keeps looping, so it's not like we won't find ourselves back here eventually anyway. So let me see what this violent death is that he's talking about. I'm curious.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Look at this.
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward.
He's
into a
giving us
very
every
painful
chance.
Death for each of them.
What is the death you speak of? It just... Is it just falling? Well, I'm alive so far. Oh, I see.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. Sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself.
Oh, man.
He sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Well, this sucks.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
What? What the... What? The Stanley Parable.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious
My
bucket
bucket.
to behold.
What? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit, or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
My God, it's just a bucket, lady. Jesus. Look at this. You got like hundreds of them. Why are you so worried about one bucket? 25 buckets. I'm sure there's more than 25 buckets there. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. I bet he did. What is this? The first bucket? Can I grab it? Inferno Bucket, a replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. This game is a fucking parody, dude. A bucket with two handles? Get the fuck out of here, bro. A bucket. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Yo, you guys, I don't know why I'm reminded of the chum bucket all of a sudden. You know what I'm talking about? Like all hail plankton, but it's instead of plankton, it's the bucket. The street bucket, an analogy, worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, a lack of reassurance, all goes into the bucket. Okay, vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. And then coping strategies equals the holes. rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy, rest and relaxation. So the stress bucket presented without commentary. The stress bucket. This is so wild. I'm never gonna look at a bucket the same way again. The fucking the first bucket, the cave of knowledge. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave's drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. That is wild.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket, okay? This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, Jesus Christ, is for our own good. Because clearly the bucket would destroy us all. Can I reach it? Did I even have to jump? I didn't even jump. I can't jump.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What happened to the other narrator?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by
Whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
machine.
hey,
Don't
hey,
reset
hey.
the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as
Whoa,
tools
hey,
until
hey,
if
oh.
only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
And I'm dead. Hello? The end is never the end. And we're back. All right. That really is never-ending hell.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself.
What
That's
the-
all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Well, that's different. What the? There's the bucket. I'm not grabbing the bucket this time. Surname access.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right. I'm kind of. We already know this one, narrator. What the fuck? Yep, we're gonna go up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right. We're gonna go through the mind control. What was it?
Stepping into his manager's
2458.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Oh wait,
Shocked,
can I-
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
What?
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk
I didn't mean to-
guarded the terrible truth
2,
that his
4,
boss had been keeping
5.
from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Oh,
But of
2845.
course,
Dang it.
Stanley
2.
couldn't possibly have
8.
known this.
There you go.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Right. I'm just kind of breezing through this just because I'm a little curious to see where all this leads to exactly. Because I remember there was the mind control facility that we passed up to escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Right.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I mean, that's very accurate. Do I have the strength to find out? We shall see.
Now the monitors jumped to
Whoa,
life,
Jesus.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It's kind of trippy, and I'm wondering if there is an actual story behind this.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna save everybody from being mind controlled. That's pretty cool, I guess. I get to be a hero. Console disabled. That's okay. So I guess we just press them. The 1, 2. Where's 3? Can I see the 3? Be around here somewhere. I know 5 is over there. Oh, is that 3 over there? Or is that 4? Oh, that's 3. So 3. Now we need 4. 4. Have you seen 4? No, we can't go. It is so dark, man. Like, holy crap, I was not expecting the game to be this dark. Not like it's dark in the sense of, you know, evil and stuff, but dark in the sense of it's just a dark game. It's up there. How the heck? How do I get up there? Need to open this door. Well, I guess we're not doing that. Unless there's like a control or something that I don't know about that I can press or something. What's this button do? Can't press it. Does the middle do anything? Is there like anything special going on with the middle or? Okay. This console is disabled, which kind of sucks because I need to get through it. Oh, I'm just trying to figure out. Okay. I guess we'll just keep heading towards the other door. Mind controls idle awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Did I do it? Am I a hero? What's happening right now?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He
I
had
did?
defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I'm free? Dobby's a free elf?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And we're back. Okay. So I'm starting to understand that there is no end. There is no end. It's just...
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
I'm so curious as to whether there is something to this or not. I'm taking the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I noticed some of these doors require like key cards and stuff. Is that something I can actually get, or?
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
I was
So
just
he threw
curious, I'll
himself
be
to his
honest.
death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Oh my god.
How deeply touching.
We're back in this. This is hell. This is very, very interesting. I think I'll try at least one more. I don't know, because I think this video is about good like 2 hours now. I think is how long I've been recording. Just about. I'm gonna try, I think, one more scenario, then I'll probably call it quits there.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
This time I'm not gonna go to the left, I'm gonna go to the right again. I mean, I went to the right last time, but I mean, this time I'm gonna actually
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
do
telling him that
what he
the
tells me.
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the
What is
opposite
this?
door.
Where does this lead?
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What in God's name?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
Hey, put some respect
Yes,
on the
I know
bucket's
I'm
name.
the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
They had a whole intervention because I'm carrying around a bucket.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
He said, "Wee." My God, this music's loud. Hey, bro, turn this shit down.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Oh, you want me to get rid of the bucket? Yeah, no, this bucket stays with me, sir. I'm just curious to see what kind of doors I can go through. We don't know what this game holds. We don't know the secrets it entails.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I don't want to get rid of it. What?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We
Nope.
can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now.
Nope.
The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley.
Nope.
Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Nope. And we died, I think. I'm pretty sure we just died. Nope. This thing's blew up all of
Lucky
existence.
Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going
Prized
to do such
creation.
marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I'm a god, boy.